Wow, are your wings tired? We've been flapping the whole time. Once again, I will need your help to tell our stories. And in this first story, we're ducks. We're flying through the air and we're looking down. So usually as people, if we're looking at trees, we might look and we see underneath the tree. Or we see even with the tree, if the tree's farther away. But now, as ducks, flying up in the air, we're looking down at the tops of trees. And we're looking for a good place to live. Ooh. Hey, how about that one? I see some water down there. I see some rocks. That might be neat. Oh, geez. I also see a lot of trees. And a lot of trees would mean the woods or a forest. And there might be foxes in the forest. Ducks do not want to live where foxes are. Okay, we keep flying. Hey, look at that pond down there. Oh, look at all those logs down there. Wait a minute. You know what lives on logs? Turtles. And turtles and ducks are not a good mix. So these ducks were flying all day, and they were getting very, very tired. It was getting dark, and they spotted a little island down below that was surrounded by water. And they thought, we have to stop here for the night. Now, if you have your pillow, you can sit on your pillow. All right, you can curl yourself up and just get some duck snoozing. When they woke up the next day, they looked around and, well, they kind of liked their little island. There weren't any foxes on it. There were no turtles. So you're looking around and you're surrounded by water. And it's not like wavy ocean water, but it's calm water. They dipped their little foot in. It was a good temperature. It wasn't bad. They thought they'd explore a little bit here. So, now as ducks, we're going to dive into the pond here. And when ducks dive, their feet stick up in the air. So pretend that you're a duck, you have your feathers, and you're going to dive down to the bottom of the mud. And when you do so, your feet might stick up. Your bill might even touch the floor. They didn't find much, but just then they saw a giant swan boat with people on it. And I don't know about you, but if I've ever seen a duck and I have pieces of bread or I have peanuts, I might toss the duck some. And that's exactly what happened. So imagine that you're on the water, you see a lot of people that are going by in front of you, and they're tossing bits of bread, peanuts at you. Try to catch some. They had a nice breakfast of peanuts from the people that were passing by. And they looked around, they thought, this is a great place to be. There's no foxes, there's no turtles, we can have all the food we want. I think we should live here. And the other duck said, that's great, yeah, there's nothing. And just then, a boy on a bicycle was pedaling. So, we're sitting here, pretending we're on a bike, pedal as fast as you can, get your bell, ring, 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 ring. Just missed the duck. Well, I don't know about you, but they were so scared. Some of their feathers even fell off how scared they were. They thought, we cannot live here. This is no place to raise ducklings. So off they went. They flew. So they looked down and they thought, they see a park. So imagine a park that you know. But there was no water. Ducks need water. They were looking down. They saw a lot of buildings because they were in a city now. Buildings are no place for a duck. They saw, well, it looked like on the side of a bridge. And there weren't really any trees. They were looking down, and it seemed like the perfect place to stop. Mrs. Duck said, this is great because, you know, I don't see any type of creatures here. It's just us. Mr. Duck said, yeah, this is a great spot to be. Soon, now you can be on your pillow, soon, Mrs. Duck laid some eggs. So imagine that you're sitting on a nest. Okay. Soon enough, 8 eggs were laid. And when it was time to hatch, can you guess what they named them? Well, it all rhymes with quack. And in fact, one duckling was even named Quack. They had Jack, Cack, Lack, Mack, Knack, Lack, Pack, and Quack. Now, fortunately for the ducks, this island where the ducklings were could be accessed over the water, well, to their other spot where the swan boat was. So Father Duck said, so now you're talking like a duck. And what that really translated to was, hey, I'll see you in 1 week down at our other island. I'll try to get as many peanuts together as we can get. And the mother duck said, oh, no problem. I know how to teach these ducks. So Father Duck was off swimming, and he went on down the river, and now it's time for Mother Duck to show off her stuff. So, well, the first thing that a duck needs to know, right, is how to swim. So, they have to have their legs right. Crisscross applesauce, that's not going to work for a duck, okay? It's almost like they're kind of like kneeling. So, if you can move your body around, you're going to tuck your feet underneath you. And it's almost like you're hunched down on your knees like this. Your feathers are tucked in next to you. Just in case you, real quick, need to fly away, you can. So you're down like this here, and you're trying to swim. Now you might move your feet in the water a little bit too. So if you can move your feet, that'll work as well. So okay, so we have some practice with swimming here. The next thing that these ducklings need is how to walk. So if you are a duck, right, you're up like this, you have orange feet. Again, your feathers are tucked in here, right, your wings, and you're kind of waddling, right? So if you have some space, right, practice your waddling like a duck. Most likely your head is going to be facing down because you might be looking for little bits of food to eat. The big day. Now, after 6 days have gone by, it was time to go meet Father Duck. So, Mother Duck was out in front. They were on the water. They were swimming along. trying to all swim in a line here. You know, that knack though, he's always off to the side. So they're swimming, trying to swim in a line, and then they reached a sidewalk. Now a sidewalk, sidewalks and ducks don't really mix very well because sidewalks usually lead to roads. And on a road there's cars. Yeah. So now pretend you're a driver. Right? You have your steering wheel, and you have your foot on the gas here, and you're not going to brake for anything, let alone a duck. Drive as fast as you can. Clench your teeth. You see a duck try to walk by, you beep, 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 beep. And imagine, not only is it you that's beeping, but there's 50 or so other cars that are now beeping at these ducks. Beep, 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 beep. Well, what do you think the ducks did? They quacked as loud as they could. It caused such a commotion that a local police officer named Michael, well, he knew he had to do something. Michael, quick as he could, tried to get his whistle out. Now, if you have a whistle, blow your whistle. If you know how to whistle, well, use your lips. But nothing was doing. What he did was, he saw, it kind of looked like this, where all these cars were together. But there had to be a path for the ducks. So Michael got in. He said, okay, back up, yellow car, back up, back up. The yellow car backed up. Okay, big green car, back yourself a little bit here. All right, make a left turn, make a path here. All right, small white car, slide over here. Sidecar, I don't want to see any movement from you either. The ducks were able to walk right across this very busy intersection. And on the other side was Father Duck. And he was, if you could be a Father Duck here and try to perch yourself up very proudly. And he hadn't seen his 8 little ducklings in over a week. So if you could be a proud duck here, perch yourself up. And this is how the ducks lived happily ever after. So thanks for staying with us for our first story. Our next story, the tale of Jeremy Fisher. We're going to need a few more items if you have them. The first thing you'll need is a raincoat, if you have it. If not, pretend you're putting on a jacket here. Mr. Jeremy Fisher is a frog, which means he likes things to be wet. And he didn't mind. He lived on a very damp, very wet part, of a pond. Now, for us humans, we would think, oh no, we're going to track in mud into the house, right? But he's a frog. He doesn't care. Now, you're also going to need a stick or a pole if you have it. If not, we can just pretend for this. And we had asked you to get a blade of grass as a fishing pole. Because, for this story, we're going to need to be frogs. And frogs are small. So we have our fishing pole. We have our stick. If you have your pillow or your carpet square, we're going to use this as a lily pad. Okay? So imagine that it's, kind of like it was yesterday, where it's gray in the sky. There's some rain that's trickling down. And it's very wet. But for a frog, it's perfect weather. So Mr. Jeremy Fisher, the frog, he decided to put on his rain boots. He put on his raincoat. And he decided he was going to go fishing. If he caught 5 minnows, he would have his friends over. His friends, the tortoise, which is like a turtle, and his friends, the newt, which is like a salamander, or a lizard that also likes to get wet. So, to get out to his lily pad, he needed to do 4 enormous jumps to get out there. So, well, we can't jump like this, but we can get up on our hind legs like a frog here. And let's see, 4 of the biggest jumps you ever did. 1, 2, 3, and on the 4th one, try to land on your lily pad. 4. Oh, great. So, he didn't have anything to paddle with. He didn't have oars like we used a couple weeks ago. What he did have was a stick or a pole. So what you're going to do is we're trying to get our stick or pole. When we put it in the water, we're going to have it touch the bottom of the pond. And when it touches the bottom, we're going to pull ourselves along here. Okay, so let's pretend, or if you actually have this, even better, we're going to put it through the water. We're going to push our way through. Oh, good. Now he reached a spot that, well, let's talk about his size first. Take a look at your hand. A frog is about the size of your hand. Meaning that if you're on a pond, if you're on the water, that everything around you is so much taller than you. The plants look like gigantic redwood trees. Any sound could be a creature that might be coming for a frog lunch. So we have to be very cautious and very quiet. Get your blade of grass here, your fishing pole. Put it out in front of you. You hear something in the grasses. It sounds like it could be a muskrat. Oh no. Muskrats love to eat frogs for lunch. Oh, we better pull ourselves along quickly. It's quiet. I think it's a great time to fish. So what Mr. Jeremy Fisher did was, he didn't cast out his line. He really just dropped it in front of him and waited. Now, people, if we're going to be fishing in a boat, we like to have our legs in the boat. But he's a frog, so he didn't mind having his feet in the water. So have your feet out in front of you and pretend that they're floating in the water here as you're fishing. And there's rain that's falling on you, and you don't even care because, well, you're a frog, and frogs love to be wet. Sometimes when you fish, all you do is wait. And when you're doing too much waiting, your tummy rumbles. I think it's time for a nice frog lunch. So put down your pole. You had brought your lunch pail with you. How about a nice butterfly sandwich? Yum! Oh, you have some wing hanging from your frog mouth. Here, make sure you get that. Now, just as you were eating your lunch, your frog feet still in the water, suddenly, out of nowhere, a giant fish jumps up out of the water and lands right on you with its mouth wide open. Before you know it, you're in a fish's mouth and you're looking all around and it's dark and it smells in here. Oh, jeez. You're doing whatever you can to escape. You're moving your frog paws all around here, right? You're saying, help, get me out of here. Help, help. The fish latches onto your raincoat. So if you have a raincoat, take it off, take it off. The fish decides, ew, this is the worst tasting raincoat I ever had here. And he eats your raincoat. But as he's chewing on the raincoat and deciding how bad it tastes, we're able to swim away. So swim, swim north. We're in the water. We're trying to get up to the surface here. As fast as you can. Get your frog legs and, Okay, next up, your pillow. Put it above your head. Because now, if we're in the water, we're trying to climb up on top of this lily pad here. So get your frog leg, put it on top. Get your other frog leg, put it on top. Pull yourself up. And now lay on it, on your tummy. Oh. All around you, the flies are laughing at you. But you don't care because you've escaped from the fish. The fish broke your blade of grass in half. The fish ate your raincoat. The fish even ate your frog shoes. But you don't care. As you go back, you're hopping very slowly. You didn't catch any fish. And you know your friends are coming over. What are we going to serve them? We see a turtle. And the turtle is very well dressed here. So imagine you're a turtle with a nice turtle tie on here. You brought a salad with you to eat here. And we also had a newt here. Now our newt was wearing a nice tall cap here, very fine dressed newt here. And he might have even had a newt tuxedo on as well. And he shows up and they, hello there, Mr. Jeremy Fisher. We're here for a lovely dinner here. Just a couple of fine gentlemen. Well, guess what he had for them? He had a whole plate. Now if you have your plate or something around here, a whole plate of roasted grasshopper. Now, I hear that it's a frog delicacy, but I think if we were to have that, it would really be quite nasty. So show me your gross face. Oh. And that's the end of our second story here. Okay, we have one story left. It's a quick one, so I hope you stick around. For this last story, I had asked you to get a pole or a stick, or even a broom could work. This is going to be our umbrella. And I want you to imagine that it is a very sunny day, and the sun is beating down on you. And you can move your pillow over. So you're going to use this to be your umbrella, and I actually have a real umbrella. Now for this umbrella, we're monkeys here. So monkeys perch up like this. Oh! monkey was walking along here, trying to fiddle with his umbrella, which was broken. He came across another monkey who saw what he was doing. The other monkey said,
Yo, what you doing?
"Oh, isn't it the worst? It's such a nice day outside, but my umbrella's broken. There's nothing I can do about it. Now, I don't want to get rid of it because it might rain. I mean, it always could rain."
I have a great idea.
Yeah? What is it?
You can cut holes in your umbrella to let the sun shine through.
Oh, that's a great idea. Thank you so much, friend. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to pretend that you're now cutting holes in your umbrella here. Right? You're cutting out holes here. Oh, this is going to let the sun in. Great. Oh, perfect. Look at your umbrella with the holes in it. Now the sun could shine through. So you're walking along here and you are enjoying the sun. Ah, you can finally get the sun's rays coming right through to you. It's great. Until off in the distance, you hear some thunder. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, well, thunder doesn't really mean rain, right? But then there were some drops. The first kind of drops weren't so bad until there was a whole downpour. And there was nothing you could do about it. Ah! By the end of the day, the monkey was soaked. And the moral of this story is, sometimes you get advice from friends. And just like the weather, some of it's good, but some of it's bad. All right, thanks so much for joining me this week, and thanks for sticking with us. Next week, we'll have some more of our favorite stories. If you have any recommendations for what stories we should do, please leave a comment. Thank you very much.